welcome aboard to this episode of the We Are Reading One Piece podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to following the entire story of One Piece from beginning to end as we focus on each volume. We keep the discussion spoiler free for new fans of the series, so this is the perfect place to follow along, whether you're new to the series or just want to revisit the world of One Piece with us. This week, we will be covering the first part of Volume 76, Just Keep Going, which covers chapters 753 through 758. My name is Joel. I'll be your host. Joining me today, we have Evan.
Oh, what's up?
And we have Cody.
Just keep going up the hill and up the hill and up the next hill and up all the hills is what they're going.
Run up the hill.
Is this an original song or is this a reference to something?
It's I don't want us to get copyright stricken, so I can't say.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I was gonna belt it, but like that's not the vibe.
Unfortunately, it's falling deaf ears because I don't know the song. You might have to sing it to me off camera.
Yeah, off camera. Off camera.
Yeah.
I think I said it, but you'll have to mute it.
Yep.
Yeah, this makes me think of like Just Keep Swimming from like Finding Nemo.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are not doing a Finding Nemo podcast, but a One Piece podcast where we are currently in the middle of Dressrosa. Things have been getting pretty crazy, a little chaotic, and it's been a ton of fun. It's been very tumultuous because this arc has been all over the place and it's been shifting so much from where we started to like how we got to here. So just to kind of get everybody back up to speed, I'm going to read part of the recap from the beginning of the volume. The group infiltrates the kingdom of Dressrosa in an attempt to set up Doflamingo, but Law is abducted after falling into a trap. The rest of the crew meets a one-legged toy soldier who informs them of the nation's hidden darkness, and they decide to help the Little Tontatas in their fight for freedom. Luffy rescues Law from captivity, and Usopp succeeds in freeing those who have been turned into toys. Furious, Doflamingo covers the island in a giant bird cage and puts bounties on our heroes' heads. Now, on the run from Dressrosa's citizens, Luffy heads for Doflamingo in the palace on the forestep to rescue the kingdom. Okay, so let's start with the next part of the cover story, which we just started last episode. We have the solitary journey of Jinbei, First Son of the Sea, Volume 3. Looks like trouble for the Sea Dog Officer, Sea Animal Sheriff. Jinbei finds a Sea Dog Sheriff and asks for help returning the lost sea kitten to their family.
This poor sea kitten.
So cute.
Oh.
I think this police officer is a little hard to read. He's got his arms crossed and the tongue out, but he's probably just a dog or a sea dog, so I can't tell the intention behind the tongue out.
He's wearing the aviators, so it's also like you can't really see his eyes. So like he's really like he has like his poker face on here.
Yeah, I don't know how to read this guy.
And it's funny because like the way that Jinbei's pointing at the sea cat, it looks like he's saying, "Officer, arrest this cat." It's like, Jinbei, whose side are you on? Come on, bro.
He does look a little upset.
Yeah, he's probably just like, "Officer, the sea kitten's lost. Help me find its family so we can bring it home." But the title of the story is kind of like throwing me off a little bit. I don't know exactly what trouble like there is for the sea dog.
Yeah, or it's like, oh, this looks like trouble, or this is gonna be a tough assignment, or just I don't know. I can't tell how he's feeling because of the sunglasses.
It's like, oh, I gotta do my job now. Come on.
Right, yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into the chapter. Chapter 753, Battle. Bellamy confronts Doflamingo for sending Dellinger to assassinate him. Doflamingo tells Bellamy that they have different goals. While Bellamy always wanted to be a pirate, Doflamingo doesn't care how he's categorized as long as he has the power to tear down the world. Doflamingo's officers arrive at the second step of the platforms to the palace and begin taking down the gladiators. The citizens of Dressrosa seem to have figured out where King Riku is and begin to mobilize to capture him along with God Usopp, seeing this as their only way to make it out of the birdcage alive. At the Smile Factory, Beyond and Inhale manage to get a message to the worker Tontatas inside, informing them that they have been deceived. They fight back and defeat their oppressors. Kairos has hitched a ride with Luffy and Cavendish on the horse for Rule. He tells Luffy his goal is to defeat Diamante to settle his personal revenge. The gladiators have all decided to work together in order to keep the path clear for Luffy. Okay, where to begin?
Should we start at the top?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I feel like Bellamy confronting Dofi here I think we have like a new perspective on Bellamy, and I feel like I'm kind of secretly like rooting for things to work out for him now. And this is not looking good. I'm a little concerned, or a lot
Yeah.
concerned. We know what happens to people who don't see eye to eye with Dofi, or who have different goals.
Yeah, pretty gutsy to kind of stand up against Doflamingo here, especially like in this
Yeah.
situation.
Yep.
And that Cody you had something?
I was just gonna say I didn't want to like Bellamy, but there is something just very genuine about. He's just been very genuine throughout this arc, or at least seems more genuine
Hmm.
than it makes me.
Mhm.
I agree with Evan that I do want things to work out for him, and I am also worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we've been kind of saying, Bellamy feels more mature than he did back in Jaya. So he doesn't feel like the same immature guy you want to see put back in his place. He feels like a guy who has seen some stuff now. He's had some losses, and he's just trying to find his place. And he's trying to find it through Doflamingo, but it might be a little bit misguided because even at this stage, like he shows up here and he's like, "You gave me a job and you didn't give me a chance to see it through." And Doflamingo's just like, "Well, have you finished Straw Hat yet?" He's still like, "Oh yeah, Bellamy, did you do what I told you to do after I tried to send somebody to kill you?" That's what Doflamingo is trying to get out of this here. Like, did you do anything for me that like benefits me? And Bellamy
Mhm.
is over here betrayed by somebody who is supposed to be on his side.
The sticky spot to be in.
And with Doflamingo, it really is that how does this benefit me? What are you doing for me? Not
Mhm.
and like we've talked about Dofi's selfishness and things revolving around him, but I just like the fact that like it even extends to his identity at this point. Because he literally says, I didn't care about being a pirate. It's what gave me the opportunity to do what I wanted to cause the destruction that I wanted.
Yeah,
So it's cool just like seeing like another little layer of Doflamingo and seeing,
Mhm.
but it makes me more curious. I want to peel more back now.
yeah,
Yeah, but for
and
him, titles are tools. Like titles are, permission and access.
Mhm.
that means to an end.
Means to an end, not the end goal. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting that his goal is just destruction. It's not like I'm trying to build
Mhm.
something, it's I'm trying to tear stuff down. So, I don't know if he wants to rebuild something, like, the way that he sees it, but he doesn't say that here. He just says he wants to tear stuff down. He just wants power, and that's really what it is it's about control and, like, being on top, and this was just a pathway that he saw for him to get to that point.
Yeah. As we literally see him pulling the strings here with his hand contorted. I hope he's not. He could be manipulating Bellamy right now, for all we know.
Yeah, because it's, that's where the scene ends, so we don't know exactly what happens here.
Yeah.
And speaking of Dellinger, we see Dellinger is still on a rampage here and starts attacking some of the gladiators, including Suleiman and Blue Gilly.
Yeah, kind of showcasing his abilities for the first time, really.
Yeah, because the only time we really saw him was fighting against the barrier for Bartolomeo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He couldn't get through to try to get to Bellamy. So
Looks a little bit like he's able to make illusion like clones of himself.
I think it's just a speed thing,
It's
but
just a speed
Yeah,
thing. He's just
I could
really
be
fast.
misremembering it. But yeah, I think it's
and
just
just
speed.
after images.
Okay. So he's just super fast and then skewers people with his head, which is
Yeah,
brutal. That's a pretty gruesome ability or technique.
yeah. It's giving me Dragon Ball Z Frieza arc vibes. If you know, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of get the Monstar squad here showing up, Doflamingo's officers, and
Mm.
they start just attacking everybody, showing them mean business. Yeah, I mean they're kind of doing some work on these gladiators who we saw were some of the best fighters that were in the Colosseum.
Yeah.
So kind of shows what they're dealing with.
Very efficiently too. They're they're not really breaking a sweat. They're just getting right down to business.
Yeah, I did think that this is cool when Don Chinchao was trying to climb the wall, and we see the boulders coming out from Gladius's power. I guess
Yeah.
that was a cool effect. It's like it's bulging and then it explodes on him, knocking him away.
I like Gladius' power a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gladys is pretty cool.
Yeah, I love his design.
Honestly, yeah, especially without the hat, I think just like the hair adds a lot to it.
Yeah, I like both looks. I think both work for him. Yeah, and would you guys think of the scene with the Tontadas inside the Smile Factory?
This is
Amazing.
great. Yeah. This was fun. flying formation to spell it out to him was pretty great.
Yeah, it's very clever.
Very clever.
Getting the messages using like the bugs. Yeah, so we see the Tentatas still being like whipped by the slavers here, trying to tell them to work faster, but then they see the bugs telling messages like to say to unlock from the inside, even fooled, and telling them to fight back. They're starting to see, oh, things aren't what we thought, and then they start fighting back, and they show really they've had this power this whole time.
Yeah.
If they weren't being deceived that they had to be doing this work for a reason to save their princess, like they were doing it for such a noble reason, but they were being lied to as to the purpose of what they were doing. But now we're seeing they've had this power and then the whole time, so they just had to realize that they weren't actually doing what they thought they were, and they could fight back against the people who are mistreating them. So it's very rewarding to see them fight back, and I love this like little thumbs up from this guy over here.
So good. I also when they're like, "Huh, fooled? What does that mean?" Like they're so innocent and gullible. Like, yeah,
Yeah, they don't understand the concept of being deceived.
right.
Yeah, Luffy's still continuing his journey up to the palace, and he's he's been like, going from like mount to mount. We went from Musi, now we're on Ferrule, Cavendish's steed, and it's funny that like people just keep hitching rides onto these animals like from out of nowhere. I was like, hey, who invited you? And Kairos is now here from out of nowhere because last time we saw him, he was fighting through some of the forces to get to the palace, and now he's made his way this far as well.
From Moosey to Horsey. Yeah, I think this is a pretty powerful scene as Luffy strides through the gladiators and recent enemies now turned allies. Like we talked about this last episode,
Mhm.
but here they're not just going along with Luffy, they are actively like parting the sea to give him a path that they're not going to take. Like they're going to
Yeah.
hold this for him. And it's just like we see Luffy being a captain and being treated like a captain by these people he just met, or maybe even treated like a king, you could say.
Oh,
Um,
royalty over here.
yeah, like it's just amazing. The Luffy effect is amazing and on display.
Yeah, so it's kind of like they're putting the egos aside and realizing we can be more effective if we work together. And
Yeah,
they're all kind of stuck in this situation, and the only way out is to defeat Doflamingo. But if they're too busy fighting each other trying to do that, it's not going to work. They're just going to make it easier for Doflamingo to succeed. So they're kind of realizing here, like it should be a group effort, and they start to back Luffy because they've been kind of won over by him at this point. So it's good to see the Luffy effect in full effect. I did think it was funny with the Kairos riding on the back of the horse, and Cavendish the whole time is just complaining about how this like too much of a weight limit. But his reasoning is like, he's like, listen to me, my steed Ferrule can only run gracefully with a max of 2 passengers. So he's like concerned about like how they look riding the steed as opposed to like if they could function carry multiple people. He's like, I just want it to look graceful.
and there's 4 people on it because we also got Law still
Mhm.
prone
Yeah.
on here, which I love the cuts we get of him just saying nothing.
Yeah.
I'll just get like random little snippets of him just silent.
Yeah, with the ellipses. So
Yeah, the
like
ellipses. Just
he's actively being silent.
yep.
Just the scowl of I can't let these idiots get any further off track. We just need to get to the top and fuck shit up. Please, God.
Yep.
And it did make me laugh when we see Dagama get attacked by Dellinger, but then Luffy calls him Daruma, like the Daruma doll.
Yeah.
He's so close.
Yeah, even Luffy's getting confused by all the new faces.
Well, he'd be confused even if there's 2 of them. So
This is true. This
Mhm.
is true.
okay, are we good to move on?
I'm good.
Okay, so next up we have the Solitary Journey of Jinbei, First from the Sea, Volume 4. Well, good thing this sea kitten happens to live in my town. The Sea Dog Sheriff tells Jinbei he can help lead the sea kitten back to their home.
Happy days.
But again, it's like it's on the way. So this dog might not be down to go the extra mile. No pun intended. So maybe that's the trouble. Is just like, oh great, one more thing to do today.
Yeah, like I had so much to do. I was just on my way home. I don't want to have to stay on the clock to help this kid. Oh, you're in my town. Okay, cool. We can go back together. Yeah, maybe that was the trouble.
Maybe.
I do love the smiles on the sea kitten's face and Jinbei's face. Like
Yeah,
Jinbei has
me
such a
too.
big goofy smile. I love it.
I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this cover story.
Yeah, Jinbei is much more likable than Caribou.
Yeah, not even comparable.
Plus sea kitten. So
Plus Seekin, come on.
Sea kitten. Love sea kitten.
all right, let's get into the chapter. We have chapter 754, Making Acquaintance. Keimon is reunited with Kanjuro, who is hiding in the wall of the scrap heap and uses his powers to create food out of ink. Kanjuro paints a spring sparrow on the wall and it comes to life, allowing he and Keimon to fly out of the scrap heap. The others trapped below beg for him to help them. As Boogie goes down, Cavendish tells Luffy to stay focused. He suspects that Doflamingo's game is a ruse meant to use people of Dressrosa to dispose of his enemies. Though now that the truth is out about the black market smuggling and the secret of the toys, nobody will be allowed to leave alive, and nobody will be coming to save them. Their only option is to defeat Doflamingo. They are then stopped by a group of large Nutcracker toys. As Zoro continues to battle Pika, he notices Robin, Rebecca, Leo, and Bartolomeo flying above. As Pika tries to take them out, Zoro unleashes a 1,080-pound phoenix to stop the stone giant, allow his friends to continue on safely.
And let's start with that, because let's go. It's about time we've seen Zoro like unleash some chaos. Like I was so giddy watching him fight. I'm like, I feel like I've been starved of Zoro fighting for too long.
Yeah, he hasn't had a big opponent like this in a while.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen an opponent this big in the entire series.
Yeah, like literally this big, yeah.
Like literally this big. And he cuts him in half, pretty much. Epic. So epic. I love Zoro.
Yeah, to think he started with a 36 caliber Phoenix, a 36-pound caliber Phoenix to now 1,080. That's how much he's progressed.
Wild.
That's 30 times. 30 times the original amount if we're going power scaling wise. I feel like I forget. I remember there was like, I think there was like some, I forget if it was Shinto or if it was Buddhist, like significance of it being like 9. I know it's connected with, it might be connected with Ashra in some way too. Has that been talked about much?
I was actually just watching Skypiea with
Right,
my
'cause that's when he started
fiance
doing it.
earlier, and the first time he does the 36-pound Phoenix, he's talking to Brahm and he's saying something about the different senses and like I think was it these like the pleasures of life or something like that. Like I forgot exactly what he said,
Right.
but like yeah, he does give like a little speech before he does it. I think to kind of set up like where he came up with like this like the number thing. But then he's just been multiplying from that.
Math aside, it's so sick. And he's cutting through the stone like it's butter.
Can't believe it's not butter.
I got the butter fruit.
Someone has to have that. Someone has to have that.
Can you believe it?
That's basically Alvida's power. So fruit.
Mm.
It's basically like everybody like it's like as if she has butter and like they just slide off her.
But can she make butter? But can she
Yeah.
make
Oh,
butter?
that's
like,
different. Yeah.
yeah. You gotta have both. Gotta have both.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's some more series
Yes,
to go,
Mr.
so
Creative
maybe
Delivery.
someday.
Maybe.
Then like Barto's reaction is also the best here.
Oh.
Mr. Dodo.
Yeah.
Crying.
If we could have one special guest on this podcast, it'd have to be Bartolomeo.
Oh, 100%.
Like in the whole series, if we could pick anyone, it's got to be Bart.
Easy.
Fanboy the whole
choice.
time.
Easy choice.
Yeah, to think how far we've come with Bartolomeo
Yeah.
and how like you hate him at like the first time seeing the character, and now he's like one of the best characters.
Yep.
So yeah, let's go back to the beginning of the chapter. So we finally are introduced to the samurai that Keimon has been looking for this whole time, and we find Kanjuro, who is quite a character.
Quite the character indeed.
So apparently he was hiding in the wall. So I guess he must have made like some kind of painting or something that he could hide behind. And even when people were just coming down and talking, he was just kind of chilling back there. And I guess when Kamo showed up, he's like, I guess I'll show myself. Like, but I guess it kind of shows his samurai ability to be like, nobody can even find me.
This is true.
Like it checks out, and it's consistent, but it's also super weird, which is exactly what I want
Yeah.
out of a new character. You know.
Yeah.
It also just occurs to me that his hair looks like a paintbrush
Yeah.
in the back.
Oh yeah.
I didn't notice that on the first glance.
I've never noticed that. So yeah, I actually didn't realize like how big his hair is.
From the front, it kind of looks like a football.
Mm-hmm.
I love this character. This character design's incredible. No notes.
He's so goofy. Yeah, and
Like
he's
the
got
big
the
bow.
massive paintbrush, which is pretty sweet. It looks like it has like
Yeah.
a katana hilt.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So cool. Yeah, I'm a fan. And this ability is so incredible. Being able to paint images that come to life. I
Yeah.
love that. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I think this is interesting because it's like an inverse to Giola's ability. Because we've been introduced to somebody early in this arc who
Yeah.
can make life into art, and now this guy makes art come to life.
So cool.
So yeah.
And I love that he's not like the most incredible artist ever. I love that he's like a very mediocre artist making some questionable creatures. Like
That's
so,
my favorite aspect of this
oh,
character.
so good. We're all like, oh, thank God Luffy didn't eat this fruit.
Yeah, imagine his Jolly Roger coming to life.
You imagine?
Imagine the Nami as a fish person drawing from way back.
Maybe that's what
no.
happened. That character
my
exists. That character is real.
Oh my god, I forgot. That's right.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Although this sparrow is not that bad.
Not that bad.
It's kind of cute.
I think it's really cute.
Yeah, but it is hilarious that like he has this like really cool ability, and then he can't really capitalize on it that well by making like very cool, like good looking art.
Yeah.
And then yeah, just the fact that he's like eating the lettuce that he made out of the ink, and then he offers it to Kamo. He's like, "No, your food gives me a bellyache. I don't want that."
Oh, that's hilarious.
But I love that's kind of like Oda's like in universe like reason how he's been surviving. He's like, oh, I just like surviving off the food I've been making.
Oh my God. I've been actually trying to paint other foods, but it all just comes out as cabbage.
My cabbage.
My cabbages.
He's like, oh, you want an apple? And it's just like, it looks like lettuce. Like, oh, you want a banana? It looks like lettuce. Yeah, he's just,
Yeah,
no,
he's just-
that's totally a banana.
It's like, dude, you're just drawing a circle.
It's like the clown who asks you your favorite balloon animal, but just gives you a dog every time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kanjuro seems fun.
Yeah.
Seems
Fun
like he seems
character
just wacky
design.
enough.
Yep. Cool ability.
I also do like that there's like a bit of a moral quandary for them. Okay, like how involved do we get? Do we actually help these people get back to their king, or do we like focus on our own quest right here?
Mm,
Because you know, Kinemon has a relationship with the Straw Hats to a degree. They're helping each other out, but like, how far do things extend beyond
right.
that?
Because this
Right.
technically isn't their fight either.
Mhm.
They've just kind of gotten dragged in as well by association.
Yep. But you can't kind of walk away from this one because you're in a bird cage.
Yeah.
You can't go your separate ways.
They literally have the bird.
Yeah. Yeah, and speaking of the birdcage, we get this line from Cavendish who says that this game is nothing but a lie. So he's saying here, like the reality is, really, even if the people do succeed and like win Doflamingo's game, he's not going to let them live. So they're kind of being led on here and again deceived, which has been kind of like the MO here to get people to do his dirty work for him. But in reality, Doflamingo is not intending to let anybody get out of this because of what they know. He can't let them live at this point.
Yep.
And Cavendish is like realizing that's the reality of the situation.
There's only one way out, and it's through Dofi.
Yep.
Not to go off on too much of a tangent, but I feel like last episode we talked a lot about how epic it was that we kind of got this like world change, or like the like literal cityscape was sculpted and changed, and like how cool that is, like aesthetically and narratively. But I feel like we didn't talk too much about how much it changed this arc. And like I think it's just so cool how we this arc started off as like espionage and like infiltration and like this underground, like trying to get in to the secret location, and then completely flips on its head, and now it's like this all out sprint to like the top of the mountain, and it's like these literal like levels, and it's almost like climbing the castle stairs, and it's just like such a
Yeah.
cool, I think it's such a cool narrative leap that would have made from like completely changing the tone of the entire arc, and like ramping it up, and like building up all these cool characters, and now everyone's involved, and it's just like a whole lot going on. It's like, how did we get here? Like, what is going on? But I think Oda did a really cool job of like the difference from where we started and where we are now. I think is really cool.
Yeah, I think that's a great point because Oda did a really smart thing by introducing all these characters in the Colosseum and finding a way to keep them in the story and keep them relevant to the story. And he's giving them a role. And we've been seeing different moments of them shining. So it is very smart for him to shift gears in that way and be able to get more mileage out of these characters. Like that could have been kind of like one and done, and it's like, oh, they lost the Coliseum, they don't have a role anymore. But now they're being brought into the story for a different role, and it's fun to see how things change from where they started in the Coliseum.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just so cool because it's like, at first we thought like the secret, like the palace is under the Colosseum, and we have to like infiltrate this underground secretive thing where it was a lot of, like I said before, like espionage, and then it
Hmm.
changes to like now there's this huge castle. It's like King of the Hill trying to get to the top of the mountain first, and it's like a death race almost, where everyone's just
Yeah.
like trying. And this like human, now this like expanded Colosseum, such a cool change of scenery.
Yeah, and the game has changed because like the plan that they originally had is kind of falling through. Things did not go according to plan. Things got thrown off the rails, and now they're having to pivot. And Law got taken out like of the playing field for a bit too because he was a major part of the plan as a distraction, and he took on
Mhm.
Doflamingo and then he lost. And now Law is literally handcuffed and he can't use his powers, and we've been seeing like he's just kind of being dragged around until he can hopefully get freed. But right now he's not able to really fight back or contribute, and he's kind of just like he's been sidelined, which is probably frustrating for him. But it's interesting because he was such a major player going into this arc, and he was one of the main pieces. And now we're kind of seeing, his role has also changed, but the goal is still the same. It's taking down Doflamingo, but now they have to take it in a different way. Like they've been kind of forced down this path as opposed to the path that they originally tried to go down.
Yeah, I'm sure Law is handling having zero control over anything right now very comforting. I'm sure.
More
Totally,
ellipses. It's fine.
totally
Fine.
cool with
Yeah.
it. Totally cool.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy though because I feel like we got that picture because we've been seeing this from every angle, and we get the perspective of it. But it's crazy now that Cavendish and like the people inside are starting to figure out. It's like, oh, no one's getting out of this alive unless we
Yeah.
take down this one guy. Like this is one of the like most evil and powerful villains that we've met, and of course he's got a big red button when things go sideways, and he does, and he's like, oh no, the cat's out the bag, like no one can know the evil deeds I've done, and so he's triggered that failsafe, and here we are.
Yep. Break glass in case of emergency.
Yep, he broke the glass.
Yeah, I also like that Cavendish is pointing out that Doflamingo made an error in judgment by gathering strong people to compete in the Coliseum, and then now they're trapped in here. So
Yeah,
he purposely got people who were going to be, entertaining fighters who could be really strong. So he didn't like just get like the bottom of the barrel people. He got legitimate like fighters to show up. So now they're also in the situation. So yeah, I like that Cavendish is recognizing that they do have the ability to fight back, and there's some really strong people that can make a difference here.
yeah.
And then also one of my favorite jokes, this cracked me up, was when they're talking about their grudges with Doflamingo, and like Kairos, he's like I must bring it an end to the strategy from years ago, and then Law's like, well, if we're counting about by age, like my grudge started 13 years ago, and if he's like, oh yeah, well the mine is 30, and Captain just like, shut up, you're not older than me. So like he's just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna make my grudge arbitrarily longer, just to kind of make like to win my argument. There's no basis for it, but that's just so
So
Luffy.
good. So
Yeah,
Luffy.
Mm,
Yeah, that got me too.
yeah.
Pretty
My
great.
first time through the series, that totally cracked me up as well. So I kind of forgot about like how much I love that little moment, and then when I read it, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot how hilarious that was.
it's just so weird you mentioned your first time through the series because, like, I'll be honest, I had forgotten that I had ever read any of this
Yeah,
until like after the fact. Like, what were like these weird nutcrackers? I was like, why do I not remember these? That's just
Hmm.
such a cool design. It's
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I'm really the novelty is still there.
yeah, yeah. Even for me, like this is something I kind of forgot about too. Is like these nutcrackers, but they are a pretty cool design. They almost look like haunted.
Hmm.
Hmm.
They're kind of skeletal, you know.
Yeah, with the oversized head.
Just the rattling sound effects. They're shambling along. No, Evan, were you about to say something?
Oh, just while we're like on that conversation with everyone trying to one up each other with their reasoning for trying to kill Dofi. I like how Oda narrated it with a like a static zap in between each person as if they're like it like adds like a bite to what they're saying. And I think it was like
Yeah.
kind of a fun, clever thing I don't think I've seen him do before.
Yeah, that's right. I kinda didn't notice
Yeah.
that, but, yeah, not only is it just like the Zap, but like the panel itself has like that little kind of spark, in the
Yeah.
border, and it adds to that effect. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they're
a
kind
really,
of
really
cool.
cool decision,
Yeah.
unique paneling. Yeah, anything else on this one?
I think just
Love Zoro.
Cavendish in particular is growing on me. Just because
Mm.
he is the one who's gonna say, "Yep, no, here's the fucked up thing about all this. Here's the thing that no one wants to talk about," which is it makes sense given like I guess his speech to everybody with the megaphone in the Coliseum, but it's
Hmm,
something I didn't necessarily expect, and it's I guess an aspect of him that I like to see more of, and I hope to see
yeah,
more of.
yeah, agreed.
It's been a lot of redemption, character redemption in this arc, I feel like.
Mhm.
Or just characters taking a turn.
Yeah,
Especially when you're put in this life or death game where all of a sudden the stakes are changed and your perspective is changed. And so your alliances change.
yeah, everybody's being very adaptable here.
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's move on. Just real quick in the SBS, I just wanted to point this out because I don't know if we've ever gotten the confirmation of the character names of Penguin and, Shachi from, the Heart Pirates, because we knew Beppo. And I mean, we've seen. I guess we could guess like Penguin has. It says Penguin on his hat, but I don't think
Hmm.
Oda's ever actually like given their names before up to this point. But I feel like they are two of like the more like well-known named characters from Law's crew.
Yep.
There's kind of like this animal theme going on here because they're saying Shachi means killer whale, so they have kind of these the Arctic animals.
Cool. Meaning, and then hinting at Law being a snow leopard here,
Yeah, snow leopard.
which I feel like we did bring that up before.
Yeah, Cody did mention that when
Yeah.
he was talking about the theming of these seven warlords typically being animals.
Yeah. That's
Oops.
right.
No, I don't
No,
think it's a spoiler. I mean,
I
I
don't
think
either.
it was just consistent with, what we're seeing.
Yeah. We're just getting evidence.
Yeah, it's not also like a story beat. It's just yeah, like kind of like a little like tidbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Pretty sweet.
Okay, so yeah, let's move on to the cover story. The Solitary Journey of Jinbei, First Son of the Sea, Volume 5. Got an incident on our hands. Town's gone. They arrive at where the town is supposed to be, but it's not there.
There's the trouble.
Well,
There's the trouble.
there's the trouble.
Also, silly exclamation points.
Yep. We got
Love
the
it.
fish.
Trademark of every cover story.
Yep.
Once again, the poor sea kitten's crying again.
Oh, buddy.
And it looks like Jinbei got out of the bubble almost as if like he has like a convertible and he's like he had to go over like the windshield, just be like in shock. He's like he had to stand up and be like, where is it? To get a better look kind of deal.
Pop this head out the sunroof.
Mhm.
Yeah, the sunroof. Yeah. Oh, now we got a mystery on our hands.
Yep.
Okay, but let's move on to chapter 755, A Man's World. Conjuro created a series of poorly made ladders to help the others out, but they complain about how difficult they are to climb. The Tontadas are able to fight back against Doflamingo's workers using earplugs to prevent them from being deceived by more lies. They accidentally break down the keep out door to the room that they thought the princess was being kept in, but it's just a storeroom. They unlock the front door to the factory, allowing Frankie inside just in time to help them from the factory manager, Queen. He grabs her, then suplexes her into Senor Pink, who just arrived after being tricked by Frankie to go help an old lady. Outraged, she threatens to have Frankie killed, but he kisses her on the lips. She becomes flustered and tells Frankie he better become her boyfriend. Senor Pink tells Queen not to interfere, as this is a fight between men. The two hard-boiled fighters gain the admiration of everyone around them and begin the manliest fight of all time with diaper bombs and nipple lights. While Bartolomeo tries to recover from witnessing Zoro's awesomeness, Leo gets a call from the Tontadas from the Smile Factory to report the princess was not there, so she must be in the palace. Word gets back to Viola, who can search the palace using her powers to discover her location. Meanwhile, Princess Bansherry cries from within her prison in the palace. So yeah, let's start from the top on this one and work our way chronologically. Because there's a lot to talk about, and this one's very wacky.
Yep.
And those ladders set the tone, let me tell you. He used every single angle there possibly is.
It's like, is he just like purposely this bad, or is he just that bad? It's like,
Right.
but this is hilarious how like the ladders are so crooked that the people who are being rescued are complaining about like how bad like this is. Like oh, geez, like, you kind of like done a better job of this, man. Like,
He also tells them, he's like, those ladders are fragile. Be careful.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to be fair, like, it's hard enough to draw a perfectly straight line without like a ruler or something to help you out on like a 2D surface. Imagine trying to do that like in the air, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying, it's definitely easier said than done. He's got his
yeah.
work cut out for him.
Yeah.
So maybe he is that bad, and maybe it's, I don't know.
Maybe it's a mix.
Yeah,
Also a rush
could be.
job.
Yeah.
And then we move to the Smile Factory where the Tontadas are continuing to kick some butt. And I love how we get this super cartoon thing with the Tontada swing, and they're like almost like Mario swinging Bowser in Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
Grabs him by the tail and like throws him. Yeah, very
So
cartoony,
good.
just kind of swinging him around in a circle.
The earplugs are so funny.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
So good.
So good.
It's like now they're invincible. It's like with we covered a weakness. Now you can't tell us lies and trick us if we can't hear you.
Exactly.
And then when they try to talk to each other, it's like, oh, I can't hear you. What'd you say? I have earplugs in. Yeah, and the scene with Mauji, or
I
is it
think
Moji?
Moji.
Moji, but like there's also the same pronunciation as Moji from like Buggy's Crew.
I guess
Is
it'd be like
is it Moji?
Moji.
Yeah. Either way,
It's like a longer O sound, I guess.
Moji.
Moji. Moji.
Yeah.
Versus Moji. I don't know.
I do love how like he kind of lost control because he was just running too fast, and then he accidentally knocked down the keep out door. But they were trying to honor the keep out as if like that like because it had the sign saying keep out. Oh, we don't want to go in there. We don't want to break the rules. So that was almost gonna keep him out. But then like, oh, it's just an empty storeroom.
Why didn't they tell me earlier? Oh no!
Yeah, they
I'm
call it the
so
forbidden door.
disappointed in you. How could you do that? So good.
So good.
The Tontadas are on fire this chapter. They're
For
probably
yeah.
gold.
Yep.
Incredible stuff here.
As we cut outside, it's so stupid. Like Oda didn't need to do this, but I love the Frankie ear. He has good hearing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the last few chapters have been like really like relatively serious, and I feel like Oda was just like, I need to be silly for like a week.
Yeah.
Just let me chill out. Let me just go as stupid as possible. And then we'll get back to like the important
Yeah.
stuff.
So can't have this right getting too serious.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then I love that Frankie tricks Senior Pink. He says, "But in the alley to the right back there, I saw a weak old grandma who needed help." So then we get the cut to later where Frankie runs into the factory without Senior Pink, and then Senior Pink comes in later, having been tricked, be like, "Oh, I gotta go help this grandma that needs like help in this alley that Frankie told him like was over there." It's like, "Hey, there was no grandma. You tricked me." But the fact
I
that he
still the
actually has to
fact
run to help.
I really like the. I mean, it's a relief. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm glad there wasn't a grandma in trouble. However, it's really fucked up of you, man.
So funny.
And
And we meet.
how awestruck the Tontatos are by Frankie.
Yeah.
I mean, Frankie looks pretty cool in this chapter.
Yeah,
He
He
does.
looks pretty cool.
pretty hard boiled if I do say so.
Pretty hard
Yep.
boiled, if I had to put a word to it.
Yep. They say the tough looking robot is here.
Yeah. What a hunk. We also meet Queen, which did we get Queen's silhouette with Sugar when Sugar was revealed for the first time?
I don't think so.
Remember when I was like, there was a big silhouette in the room with Sugar, and I was like, is that Big Mom? I think it was
I
Queen.
I thought it was Giola that you thought was Big Mom. I could be wrong.
No, it was in like the super silhouetted dim lit. Like I think it was the very first time we ever saw Sugar. Or maybe the
Do we
first
see
time we
Sugar's face?
saw, or there was like somebody in a chair. Maybe we haven't met that person yet. Do
I
you
don't
remember the scene I'm
I
talking
don't
about? There was like a
I'll look it up
scene
right now.
earlier on. Sorry to derail the conversation, but
no, it's okay.
it was like a heavily shadowed room. There was somebody sitting like in a throne, and then there was a big character who I thought was like Big Mom. It might be completely not related to this. No, I don't know what chapter that
Hmm.
was in.
Yeah, I just kind of feel like this is probably the first time that we have seen Queen, and typically this character is like in the Smile Factory as a manager. So I feel like they probably don't leave the factory very often. They're probably here like all the time.
Okay, I'm thinking of something else.
I
Maybe
could be
someone who
wrong.
hasn't been
Could be
revealed
wrong.
yet.
Wait, when you say the first time we saw Sugar, do you mean like when Baby Five was like trying to kill Doflamingo? And like
Like
we
in
see
Punk
all like
Hazard.
No, it was after
yeah,
Punk Hazard.
like it was actually
I
in
think it was
Dressrosa.
like, yeah, I think it
Okay.
was like early Dressrosa.
So I'm like
But
legit trying to find the chapter, see if I can corroborate this.
Yeah, because
yeah, I don't know.
there
The more I
was
think about it,
Uh,
maybe
I
it
think it was like
wasn't
when
related to
Pika, like
this.
we didn't see Pika fully. I think we saw like the shape of Pika.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think of Queen?
She's got the Ghostbusters vacuum
Yeah.
ready to go.
Or like Luigi's Mansion,
Yep.
the Poltergust.
She was swooned pretty easily by Frankie, but we'll be playing her.
mhm.
Yeah, I like her
Like,
vacuum even says Queen, like that's the sound it makes for the onomatopoeia.
yeah, because apparently that's like
That's
it's
hilarious.
Japanese for suction. Queen
Oh,
is
there we
like
go. Okay.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I got curious about that and had to find out.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I also love him suplexing the suplexer.
Yeah.
Using,
Yeah.
using Queen. That was awesome. And
Yeah,
it makes
'cause
for a cool panel with the splash that happens. Like that panel is so sick.
yeah.
With the ground splashing up. I think this whole scene worked really well for me. I thought it was pretty hilarious, especially with Senor Pink and Frankie being depicted. So cool. Um, and then after all of that, all the hard talk, it's like let's fight like men. The diaper bombs and like nipple light special. Like that got me. That was hilarious.
Fucking amazing.
Loved it. So good. So good. More of this.
Yeah.
I also
And
really like the fact that like Frankie like got one over on Senior Pink and Queen like wits wise.
mm.
But
Mhm.
thinking, okay, he's gonna come back. I can surprise him. Because I think it is easy to just see like Frankie like it can be easy like Flanders Frankie is like, oh, he's just like the weird guy, he's the muscle, he's like but like Frankie is like legit a genius. And this
Yeah.
isn't like necessarily a genius move, but still a smart move, and it's nice seeing
Yeah.
that still get
Yeah.
incorporated into his fights instead of just who punches harder.
But yeah, I think this is kind of like just a crazy setup, and it's so wacky. Like this is where it does work for me, where we've like had kind of problems with like Senior Pink before, and like these kinds of exchanges. But the way that it escalates to just being so absurd, I think it just reaches that point where it's like this is just ridiculous, just for the sake of just being like insane. Because, like, we see Frankie, like, he grabs Queen, and then the Tontatas are, like, confused, like, "Farland's hugging her. Does he love the factory manager?" So, like, the
Yeah.
Tontata don't know what's going on, and they don't realize that Frankie's, like, trying to do, like, a wrestling move on on Queen. But then he makes things even muddier when he gives her a smooch. This is kind of feels almost like a Bugs Bunny, like
Yeah.
comedically, like, kissing this person. But then, like, Queen is kind of like, I don't know what to make of this either, because now she's like, well, if you're going to kiss me like that, then you got to be my boyfriend. But then we see them trying to be like as like macho and like cool as possible, like in their like, in their macho way. And not like, I don't know, it's just like it's so goofy how they're trying to like also like kind of one up each other, but they're like we're speaking the same language kind of deal. And it's like a fight between men, which is goofy.
Yeah.
I was so like back and forth on this scene because I was like, oh, the kiss. Okay, what the was that necessary? But then like
Yeah.
her reaction to it's really funny. But then Sarah Pink's line about like, oh, how else should a woman be silenced? I'm like, okay, a
Yeah.
little patriarchal. But they're like,
Yeah.
no, you should be age appropriate with your relationships with women. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like just like the fact that it's so like back and forth, that's what sells it for me.
Yeah.
The fact it's so
Agreed.
tongue in cheek. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. It's just like the way it's presented in such an absurd way. That's what makes it work.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be taken like seriously by any means.
Yeah. It was interesting seeing Frankie being like the comic relief. I feel like not always his role.
Yeah.
That worked.
But it works so well for him because he is just
That
like
works so well.
such a fucking weirdo. It's perfect.
Yeah.
No, I really want more of this. I want more of their shenanigans.
Yeah. Where they left it, the way they left that was perfect though.
Yep.
Feels like the end of was it Rocky 2 where they end like with like
Oh, yep. Yep.
yeah.
Like the ding ding. Yeah. The freeze frame.
That's what does. A real man's fight's gonna begin. So good.
Yeah. So then we see Bartolomeo, Robin, Rebecca, Leo. So doing they'll float over to the palace, and then I love how Robin's saying, "Keep it together, Rooster," and they call Barto Rooster, and he's still like
Mhm.
trying to like recover from how cool Zoro was. Like, man, Zoro's so rad.
Yeah. Relatable.
Yeah, and then we kind of get our first look here of Mancherry, who is not where the Tantatas thought that she was going to be. She wasn't actually in the factory. So she's clearly being held somewhere else, and it looks like she's locked in this little prison, and she's crying. And it's kind of like our first little look. We don't get like a full look at her, but we do see her face here where she's crying for Leo.
The princess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
is
has
this
some
maybe a
power.
little romance? Maybe?
Ooh.
We'll see.
Perhaps.
Is Leo gonna be her Mario?
Maybe she's in another palace.
From Bowser. She is in another castle.
Yeah.
She kind I think, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Works for me.
And then Riku says that Doflamingo must desire her power, but it's one that the good guys likely need more.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Could it be?
Very interesting.
Yeah. So like he finds it reassuring that she's probably still alive because like her power is too useful to just dispose of. So they have a use for her, so they want to keep her around.
Very interesting.
Okay. Do we have anything else on this one?
I'm good.
Let's move on to chapter 756, The Fourth Step. Kinemon and Kanjuro arrive at the Royal Plateau, where Usopp, Riku, and Viola are. Viola finds Mancherry being held in the room the Tontatas used to be put in timeout when they were caught misbehaving by playing pranks. They would be visited by Scarlet, who is kind and would give them food. She reports the location back to Leo, who knows how to get there. As Robin, Rebecca, Leo, and Bartolomeo fly above the third step of platforms to the palace, they're caught in the blast of Gladius's explosion. Rebecca manages to stay afloat, but Robin tells Rebecca to get Lost Key to the fourth step. Viola notices Sugar is awake and has started to make new toys to fight. She has been traumatized by her experience with Usopp and turns one of her servers into a Nutcracker toy because he had a long nose. The rest of the Straw Hats aren't familiar with her powers, so Luffy could be in trouble. Farul is attacked by one of the Nutcrackers, leaving Luffy, Kairos, and Cavendish without their ride. None of their attacks appear to be effective against Nutcrackers that just keep getting back up. Robin floats down and Bartimeo crashes onto one of the Nutcrackers. Gladius joins the fight as well. Robin tells Luffy Rebecca has the key and is heading for the flower field, so he has to keep moving. Rebecca arrives at the flower field, where she is confronted by her mother's killer, Diamante. Okay. Thoughts on this one?
So from the top with Viola searching for Mancheri, we've seen Oda do really creative stuff with like split panels and like putting images in people's hats or hair or incorporating it in like a really fun creative way. But I think that this is awesome how he's melded Viola's face into some of these panels as her like seeing using her devil fruit power to kind of like see all over the place, and she's like
Yeah.
searching for Mancheri. And I think Oda did a really cool job translating that with imagery and kind of having like her face kind of fading in and out of some of these panels.
Those are really cool effects, and it is very creative the way he incorporates like her face to meld into the panels, like you said.
Yeah,
So yeah, it is a cool way to show her power being used, and being a creative and interesting way to portray that.
yeah, because it is different in like ways we've seen in the past where it'll be like a clear silhouette or like cut into the scene into somebody's hair or into somebody's
Yeah,
outfit. Where here it kind of like melds in a very, I think, cool and like legible way.
yeah, very cool. Less cool is how Conjuro created more ladders for the people trying to get to them so they can climb up. He's like, "Oh, I thought they were our allies, so I was helping them up, but they're trying to capture the people up here." So Conjuro is making things worse.
This fucking idiot. I do love the trope of very helpful dumbass.
Yeah.
It never fails to entertain me. Especially when like in his first chapter was like, do we help him out? And I was just like, he's like fully committed, like, yeah, I'm just doing my part.
More people need help. I'm here.
Woohoo! Let me assist. I sent out a net to assist them in their task. I did good. Have no fear. It's pretty great. Conjure
Yeah.
gets more entertaining by the second.
So good.
And then Usopp's reaction to seeing the spring sparrow. He's like, "Whoa, hang on. What's that miserable, pitiable creature?" And then the spring sparrow passes out. And then Kimo's like, "Oh, this is a spring sparrow, which I'll explain later." I'm sure he's not going to explain it later.
About the sparrow.
That actually would be a good devil fruit for Usopp.
That would be pretty
Oh, yeah. That's a really good point.
Maybe you can give Conjuro some lessons.
cool.
I also really love the exchange. Usopp's just so pissed off right now. But Kaji realizes, oh, I fucked up. I'll commit harakiri. He was like, no, stop it. He says, final stop. And Usopp says, no, do it.
Yeah.
End it, please.
Oh my god.
It's so funny.
Pissed off at Usopp will never not be a vibe.
Yeah, so we do get confirmation that Mancheri is in the palace. She's in the small room behind the chapel, which the Tontadas are familiar with. Looks like when the Rikus were in the palace, the Tontadas would kind of come in and like play little pranks and stuff like that. So they're putting time out because like, hey, you guys took that prank a little too far. We're just gonna put you in the corner to like think about what you did. Not anything like the Doflamingo family or Don Quixote is like abusing them for working, but it's just more like we're just gonna put you in timeout and then we're gonna let you out like in like an hour or something.
Just a little, hey, Buster, chill out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little
It felt
backstory here.
endearing. And they don't seem too miserable in there.
Yeah, and then like Viola's kind of hanging out with them, and then Scarlet shows up and kind of hangs out as well. So everybody kind of loved the Riku family.
Mhm.
And we see Gladius, use his powers to knock down the people trying to use the beetles to fly across. So we have Robin and Bartolomeo fall down, but Robin's a real one where she's like, "Rebecca, we're gonna be fine. You just do your mission. You get the key to the flower field."
It is very ironic that Robin ends up falling exactly where it would have been helpful for.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is that I maybe no, that is this chapter. That is this chapter.
Well, she doesn't fall down; she flies down,
Oh yeah,
True.
she
True.
gracefully
which is
flies
cool.
out.
Cool seeing that again because we haven't seen that in a minute.
Yeah.
But Barto less so.
Less so, yeah.
Barto's just cool by nature because he's a silly little bastard.
I love these zombie head crasher or head cruncher.
Head
What are they called?
crackers.
Head crackers.
Like a nutcracker, but for the head.
Right. A head cracker at all.
I feel so bad for Ferrule though.
Yeah. So was Cavendish. He wasn't just
Horsey.
fucking around. He really cares about that horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just about style for him.
Yeah, poor thing's head's been crushed. I hope he's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
But before we go too far into that, I did also want to talk about the scene where we see Sugar like freaking out because this guy shows up. One of the the servant guys has a long nose and she's like, "Oh, I think you might be hungry, so I brought sausages." So something else that kind of looks like Usopp's nose that's like just like furthering her trauma. And she's like, "You know, I only eat grapes. I only eat grapes. When have you ever seen me eat a sausage, you idiot?" And just for that, she turns him into like one of these nutcrackers or head crackers that we have established. But
Brutal.
yeah, so this is kind of like the explanation for what's going on with these nutcrackers is that Sugar's back to making people into toys. So she was down for the count for a little bit, but now she's back at it. So we have to be careful that like she doesn't get back to like where things were, but she was, doing that for years. So obviously there's gonna be a lot more people, but she's already kind of starting to refill the army with more toy soldiers.
Yeah. So you see a new asset of her powers.
Hmm. Yeah, because we haven't really seen the toys be combatants, really. We've seen them be like workers and like kind of
Right.
innocent things. We talked about like how the
Mm.
toy soldier was kind of an exception, how he could fight back but he had free will. It wasn't because he was made to be like a powerful toy. But she's now using them to be more like weapons. And we're seeing that Sugar is still a threat in this arc. Like she's not done yet because she's conscious again and she can still do what she's been doing. And there's always that risk that if she gets somebody like Luffy, like everybody could forget that Luffy like even existed, and that could be like terrible.
Yeah. Catastrophic.
But yeah, going back to those head crackers, so I do love the way that Oda does these panels. We can kind of see like their movements are like they're kind of like droopy and dangly and kind of creepy in the way that they like pull themselves back together and stuff. So even like when the head falls down, they like pull it back up and then they start like kind of shambling back over and stuff. So yeah, they do kind of feel like zombies.
For sure. And distinctly different from other toys that she made because like it seemed like all the toys kind of took on a unique form
Yeah,
based upon their previous life. But these are uniform, big, seemingly aggressive zombies, pretty much. And they're all identical.
yeah, yeah. Pretty much like an army of toys.
Exactly.
Army of toys.
Identical, no personality. Just soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we end with Rebecca getting to the flower field, but unfortunately somebody is waiting for her, and it's probably the worst person that could be waiting for her, and it's Diamante.
Mhm.
Yikes.
And ending on the scene ending on the panel of just a single flower petal blowing in the wind.
Yeah,
That's a great touch.
Oof.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll call back to how the soldier would leave the flower petal on her window. Nice catch.
I just caught it as we were going through it during the summary.
So good.
So I was like, oh, he's breaking the panel to show time. Like, oh nope, that's a callback. Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah, and she was expecting to see her father. So it's almost like like an inversion of that too, where it's like, oh, this is the opposite of what I wanted to see. And it's like the flower petal's like flying away. It's kind of like, oh, father's not here.
Yep.
Okay, we good to move on?
Mhm.
Next part of the cover story. The solitary journey of Jinbei, First Son of the Sea, Volume 6. The officer's house is miraculously found. The mystery of the crying sea kitten deepens. They find the sea dog's house knocked on its side.
This sad cat. So sad.
And then new exclamation marks and then question mark. The dog
Oh,
symbol.
with the dog.
Oh, even the fish are like crying on the side. I hope they can just like tip it back over, and I hope that's fine.
Nice.
Okay, let's get to the chapter. Chapter 757, Trump Card. Bartolomeo stops Gladius's blast with a barrier. He then creates a set of stairs out of his barrier that lead right up to the flower field. Cavendish decides to stay back to fight the Nutcrackers who took down his horse to allow Luffy to carry Law up the steps. Bartolomeo is blasted by Gladius and can't make more barriers because he maxed out his usable surface area to craft the stairs. Bartolomeo says it's worth it to risk his life for Luffy's sake. Robin agrees and says Luffy is their trump card, who will lead them to victory no matter what. Sabo continues to fight Fujitora, who starts to take their fight more seriously by unleashing his powers. As Rebecca fears for her life against Diamante, she cries out for the toy soldier's help. Kairos arrives, stopping Diamante's blade. He reassures Rebecca that starting today, she doesn't have to fight anymore. Luffy arrives with Law, taking the key from Rebecca. With Law now free, Kairos stays behind to handle Diamante, while Luffy and Law will take on Doflamingo.
More reasons to love Barto.
Bart.
What a guy.
What a guy. But even his
The
barriers
barrier
have
abilities. Yeah. Yeah, there is only so much. Which I think is like a good restriction to have, otherwise it could just be too OP.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I think this
for
is
sure.
great.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, smart way to set that power, and a different use for it too.
I like the barrier ability a lot. I like the stairs. His crafting.
Luffy is the key. People are realizing.
Yeah.
Or they've always known. Yeah, this is a really sweet moment with Robin.
Part-time I was like, "You're preaching to the choir, buddy."
Yep.
But yeah, I think this is a great development for Robin, seeing her story from where she started out to where she is now, and we like this is like showing like this progression of this character who is putting her trust in Luffy, and she trusts him unconditionally. So like
With her
she
life.
she knows, she knows that like this is a man who is worth risking for because like he's going to see these things through, and he's like the key to the success of all these plans happening, even if nobody else recognizes it. And like, as meticulously as Law likes to do his planning, we're kind of seeing all that work didn't really pan out the way he expected it to. So now it's kind of like it's up to Luffy's plan, which is no plan. So it's just his natural instinct that he typically relies on.
And it typically goes pretty well.
Typically.
Typically.
And Bartolomeo came like stand to look at Luffy because he's like in too much awe. So he's like, go ahead and use him, Mr. Luffy. Like you can't look him directly in the eyes, and then Kevin just like, why are you facing that direction? Then Luffy thanks him. Thank you, Rooster Head. He's like, thank me? No, thank you for being born.
Meanwhile, Sabo and Fujitora are having a city leveling battle over here. Unreal.
Completely insane.
Completely insane.
I will say sideways gravity doesn't make any sense, but I don't care because it's so fucking cool.
Well, he's changing the direction of gravity.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Let's
I mean, you can have like anti-gravity.
It's just a force at that point. It's just a force which I fuck with.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does give a little bit more context as to his powers, because it was like he must just be pulling like stuff from space. He's just affecting gravity and pulling things down. But he doesn't necessarily need to use like a rock to attack somebody. He could just change the force itself.
Yeah.
But I did want to kind of go back because I also love the scene where Gladius tries to shoot at Luffy going up the stairs. I did think this panel was also really cool. The way the head crackers are going after Luffy on the stairs, and he's just like kind of running through. Then we see Bartolomeo jump in the way and take the blast for Luffy because he couldn't use the barrier, and we just see the and the captain just like, what happened to your barrier?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where we get the exchange where he's like, yeah, it was worth risking your life for.
So great.
And then we also get this like random cut for this one panel where we see Frankie and Senior Pink. I don't know if they're doing some kind of like dance off or something, or like yeah, are they doing break dancing or are they doing like synchronized swimming or something? It's just like one panel, just randomly thrown in there, no real explanation, but then we see like people like fangirling out in the background, going ee.
And I'd be right there with him.
Yeah.
This is great.
But yeah,
Mhm.
it's just like a random panel just thrown in there, and it's like just moving on.
Yeah, it's like a dance competition, but Senior Pink can swim, so it's like a like
Yeah,
you said, a synchronized swim off.
because they're doing the same move,
Yeah,
so it's like it's like a dance battle.
seeing Robin clear a path here is pretty impressive as well. With using the giant hands,
Yeah, that's cool.
someone's getting stronger, or we're seeing more of her abilities, which I love.
I just like getting to see her like take care of her, like save another character. It's really nice that
Mm,
she's able to
Yeah,
protect people and like you said, extend the same kindness that's been given to her
yeah,
because you know that she understands the value of that. So going back up to the Sabo versus Fujitora fight, I think the as silly as I thought the sideways gravity explanation was, I think the paneling on this page is really well done.
yeah.
Things like
absolutely.
the scope of it in the first panel, like the way the eye moves following Sabo, like turning into flames, just seeing that whole transition, I think is really neat. I feel like we
That
don't
is a
get to
cool
like
effect.
go frame by frame with it that often. I really enjoy the way this page flows.
Yeah, yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, and seeing the buildings like crushed inwards.
Yeah,
Like I said, it's a city. This is a city leveling battle. Like the scale is huge, and the power level is huge.
yeah. We're kind of seeing more of like what Fujitora can do, and just like how powerful he is. Because like it's so zoomed out, you can see how tiny Sabo is compared to like the buildings and how big this like the force is that's being affected.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's a big range on this.
What do you make of Fujitora's metaphor? Ain't no point to the roll if you lose the dice beforehand. I think I'm still decoding that one.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I was kind of like not really seeing it myself.
Maybe we're not supposed to yet,
Maybe.
unless Evan's got some.
I'm trying to figure it. I guess I don't have an immediate answer either.
Cool. It's a mystery.
I do like the line, like whether I roll snake eyes or box cars, I'm fitting to wager my life here, and there ain't no point to the roll if you lose the dice beforehand.
Yeah.
So I guess because he's trying to like he's betting his life on this battle, his actions here. You know, he's willing to put his life on the line for his decisions, but maybe if he gives up the fight beforehand, then I guess there's no point if his decisions aren't going to mean anything. So I guess I don't know. I'm kind of grasping at straws. Like I'm trying to. I feel like there's got to be like a reasonable explanation for it, and I think he is making a point. I just don't know exactly what the context is he's trying to make here.
Yeah. I mean, like Oda
Yeah,
doesn't just like write cool shit for the sake of writing cool shit. He's better than that. I think that could be it. As I think about more, I'm wondering if it could be like more about interpersonal relationships because he's like talked about like, oh, you this Luffy guy, he seems like a nice fellow, and like he's actually taking the time to like have a conversation with Sabo. Like they're still fighting, but it's more than he necessarily needs to in this moment. I'm wondering if
Hmm.
it's like the gamble of like finding out who a person is. I'm wondering about that. I'm not
Yeah.
particularly married to it, but I think another angle it could be maybe.
well, it just it feels like his hands are always tied, right? And he seems to kind of rely on saying that because it was like earlier he was like, "Oh man, I wish we had time for tea, but I guess we're just gonna have to
Mhm.
fight or whatever." And now he's saying like, "Man, I wish we had time to like make a wager and roll the dice and see what happens, but I'm putting my life on the line here. Like, we don't have
Yeah.
time to roll dice." Like, I think that's kind of what he's saying. Like, there's no point to roll if you lose the dice beforehand. He's like, the result doesn't really matter. Like, we're fighting regardless. I'm fighting for my life. Like,
Hmm.
the results no longer matter,
Yeah.
Mm.
right? Like we're past negotiating. We're fighting to the death.
Yeah. He's kind of like, oh, things go my way or they might not. I'm willing to to take that chance.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, but like if we're fighting, I'm gonna fight with my all because I
Yeah.
have no other choice.
Right. Right. I think that could be it. Where it's like, yeah, it's kind of like not about whether or not he made the wrong decision. It's like I'm committed to it, and at this point, we just have to see how things land.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess he like it's not like don't think about the decisions that you made to get here kind of deal. Like we just kind of this is what it is. We have to. This is the situation that we're in right now. Yeah, I don't know if that's satisfactory, but that's kind of where I'm at right now, I guess.
Yeah, it's something I'm gonna want to come back to as we like. I think what if and when we get the end of this fight, then I would love. I think it's a moment I'm gonna want to reevaluate myself
Yeah, it might click later.
just to see. Yeah,
Yeah, he's still a bit of an enigma.
Yeah.
you could say we're blind to who he truly is. You shouldn't because that's a shitty pun, but you could.
Yeah, and then we transition to the flower field. I like the setting, and it's cool to see just like the endless fields of flowers up here.
Mhm.
But it's also sad to see Rebecca just she's so traumatized that she kind of just wants to escape, and she tries to hide in the flowers, but Diamante is not letting her go. And because he can make his sword like so long, he can just kind of cut tons of flowers out of the way, so he's able to find it pretty quickly. And she's kind of just desperate, and she calls out for the soldier who she's been able to rely on this whole time, who she now realizes is her father. So he makes a timely appearance, and he's ready to settle the debt. He's ready to settle the score to get revenge. That's kind of like one of his main goals here is to get revenge on the person who killed his wife and Rebecca's mother.
Feels kind of like we're having a full circle moment here.
And this is the first time that Rebecca's actually seeing her father.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't remember him from being so young, and
Mhm.
the only time like she spent time with him was when he was a toy soldier, which she didn't remember like who this guy was. So yeah, this is really her first chance to see her father for like, who he really is.
But she does know him through his teachings as a soldier.
Yeah, and
And so it feels like,
yeah, she's like recognizing that those were moments I was spending with my father. So my father was there for me growing up. I just didn't realize it.
mhm,
Yeah, and he still wants to protect her and be like, you don't have to fight anymore. Like I'm here and I'm going to protect you. I'm going to take care of you. You're my family, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. So he's trying to reassure her, and he wants her to live like a happy, peaceful life.
Mhm.
yeah, he can finally be there for her because he couldn't be there for her before. So he had to teach her to fight, which wasn't in her nature.
Yeah,
And now he's saying like, you don't have to do that anymore.
yeah,
I can be there for you finally.
I think like there was like a split second where I was like, oh man, I wish Rebecca could have like gotten the W or like had been the one to like
Hmm.
get this hidden. But it's also like, no, she never did want to fight. And
yeah.
she does deserve that safe life. And it's that thing where like I guess this may seem like a little out of left field, but like so often we see like something that happened like in an earlier time or like a previous generation affecting someone in the current generation. It's like the current generation having to solve it. So it's nice to really see like the father who wasn't necessarily the cause of it, but like was the one who, in an ideal world, could have dealt with it in that moment, being the one to say, "I got this."
Hmm.
Um, I guess it's this might not make sense, but in a story that's so much about like intergenerational conflict, like One Piece, it's cool to see like a counterexample to that happening in that moment.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
Hmm.
it's also just fucking touching.
Yeah.
It's touching.
It's just a dad being a good dad, which is really nice.
Yeah, and we see here that Kairos like this is his main goal here. He's willing to let Doflamingo be handled by Luffy and Law at this point. So he steps aside for that battle. He's like, this is my battle. This is where I'm going to focus right now, and this is what's important to me. So he's here for Rebecca, and he steps aside to do that. And thankfully, the key gets to Law, so Law is now free.
Mhm.
Let's go. The dynamic duo are reunited.
Impressive that Luffy was able to have the coordination to do that while running up the stairs and not worrying about the sea stone.
While dodging the Nutcracker guys.
While
Yeah.
dodging the head crackers, yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm.
at the same time.
Okay. We good to move on?
Yeah.
All right. We have the next part of the cover story, The Solitary Journey of Jinbei First on the Sea, Volume 7. Look, a sinking ship. Above, Jinbei notices a large ship sinking into the water.
Serious gashes.
Yeah, so this took a turn.
Yeah.
Wonder what caused that.
Yeah.
We'll have to find out another time.
Yep.
All right, and let's wrap up with chapter 758. Just keep going. Diamante is not going to just let Luffy and Law by, but Kairos tells Diamante that he's his opponent. Luffy is happy to see Rebecca reunited with her father. She asks if he can really defeat Doflamingo. He tells her that his name is really Luffy and he will be the king of the pirates, so she doesn't need to worry anymore. Before Diamante can strike them, Law pulls Luffy away and uses his powers to move them inside the palace. They are spotted by one of Doflamingo's henchmen, so Sugar heads over to handle them. Usopp realizes that if Luffy is turned into a toy, everyone will forget about him and it'll be all over. They must stop Sugar at all costs. They aren't able to get them on the transponder signal to warn them, so Usopp will need to use his sniper skills to stop Sugar. He has time to prepare his shot and will need to use Viola's ability to help guide his aim as the window to the palace is too far away. Desperate people trying to claim their bounties begin climbing up to the Royal Plateau to get to them, who Conjure created the ladders for, not realizing they were enemies. Usopp orders the others to protect him long enough to make this shot. As Sugar approaches Luffy and Law, Usopp realizes he can see their energy somehow. He launches his attack. Using special plants as boosters to propel his projectile, they rise at the target. It flies towards Sugar, who suddenly sees a doll of Usopp's face from when he scared her previously. Conjuro is able to produce a face out of ink, which Usopp launched with his slingshot. Once again, Sugar passes out. Viola can't believe Usopp managed to pull this off. People made it to the platform and tied up Usopp, Riku, and the two samurai. Luffy and Law made it to the top floor, where Doflamingo and Treble were waiting for them. Doflamingo asks what their purpose is, to which they say they're here to kick his butt. Doflamingo's disappointed.
What a chapter.
All right, where to start on this one?
Guess we should start at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
With Luffy introducing himself to Rebecca as Luffy and not Lucy. But this was like super sweet and endearing. I'm Luffy, of course, the man who will be king of the pirates.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else?
And we saw that you like that. Yeah, that just puts you at ease.
Yeah. So good.
Okay.
We also get, I was going to say, we get confirmation of our discussion last pod where we were wondering if Law was recovering while in Sea Prism Stone. And it turns out that he was recovering.
Yeah.
So the Sea Prism was not affecting his recovery time.
That's good.
That's good. That's very good.
So it's kind of going to like force him to preserve his stamina for like this big fight. So it kind of like worked out in the end, really.
Yeah. He uses his ability to dodge an attack from Diamante and seemingly at the same time remove a bullet, the bullet that Dofi had shot into him.
Oh, yeah, like a whole series of bullets.
Yeah, and he said he just had to use lead bullets. Is that like a weakness of his, or is that just like, is it like lead? Is it like poisoning? I don't know. Like what's the particularly egregious thing of using lead bullets?
Yeah, maybe it's lead poisoning.
I think lead just sucks. Let's just a shitty time, I guess.
I guess. I wasn't sure if it was like a specific weakness or something like that, but
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's talking about like lead poisoning or if it's because of like how like heavy they were or something. I don't know exactly, but yeah, I don't know what necessarily the context was for that line.
Yeah, I would assume getting shot with any kind of heavy metal would be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of it being like, Law as a doctor, he knows the dangers of lead poisoning, and it just pisses him off.
He's
a medical practitioner.
So...
Yeah, I'm very excited to see Law get up to some badass shenanigans now that he's free. It's been too long.
Yep. Law Unchained.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of badass shenanigans, we get some sniper action up in here.
What a dub. What a dub for Usopp.
What an incredible scene. I was on the edge of my seat for this.
Yeah. Very exciting.
Very exciting. Because it was awesome and epic. And like I was waiting for the Usopp moment where it becomes the comic relief and it isn't serious. but this was so epic. Absolutely, like Usopp just being locked in and just being like, I can do this. This is my thing. I'm the sniper. Here we go. Let's do it. And executing it beautifully. And also having a moment of clarity right before he takes the shot where he's able to sense the spirit of Luffy and Law from
And
a
sugar.
incredible distance. From an incredible distance. Yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes because there's something here, something very exciting here, and there's like a very clear image that he gets right before releasing.
So what do you
Um,
think that is?
I think it's like observation hockey, probably, or
Uh,
something like that.
that'd be my guess.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Oh yeah, we do get the eye. We do get like the eye zoom in, like the hockey eye.
Yeah, which is usually when we see Hockey the Supreme King when we get the eye. But yeah, the
Sure,
effect
maybe that's
there.
just a realization.
Yeah, to me though, this reads as him now being able to use observation hockey,
So cool. By
which is
seeing
like
their
a perfect moment
spirit,
to do that. Yeah.
yeah. How cool is that? Wow, wow, wow. Big moment.
Yeah, and it's, like, so tense too, like, the way it's, like, built up because, like, we've been talking about how Sugar is, like, such a big threat,
Yeah,
and she's so close to Luffy at this point, and Usopp recognizes the danger, and he like you said, he kinda locks in here, but, like, this is kinda, like, almost like the redemption moment for Usopp after being, like, a scaredy cat earlier, but he's like, "This is also, like, where I shine," and he's like, "I'm a sniper, and this is where I can, show off my skills, and this is something only I can do." Again, kinda like the Ace Lobby thing where it's like he was the only one that could
Hmm.
make that shot, like Sanji was telling him.
yeah.
Um, we see here that even though Usopp's about to get ambushed, he's like, "I just need this time to make this shot. This is how important it is." And you said that this is like a serious moment and it's not played for comedy, but I think it's actually a little bit of both. I do think that the payoff of this is hilarious in a way that doesn't make it seem less cool, but it pays off in a way where it becomes like funny because of what he actually shot. He wasn't trying to hit Sugar directly. He was just like, I'm just trying to get this thing to Sugar, so this will scare her to death. Uh,
Perfect.
so
Played
then,
perfect.
and then like he knew this would be something to like traumatize her. Then like the recreation of his face from what knocked her out before, and her seeing this coming at her again is just so funny. And now we have Sugar knocked out again. So all the toys that she was trying to make again, boom, back down to zero.
Incredible.
This is so clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a phenomenal scene. And like just like the build up and the way the pacing of it is so good and having the like multiple moments throughout the flight of the projectile.
Yeah.
I loved this. I thought this was incredible. The page turn to the reveal was exceptional. Yeah, this
Yeah,
was
it's a
an
cool use of the
incredible scene.
plants, like seeing that he's able to do something like this with plants.
Yeah,
I think that's a cool effect and very smart.
I really like seeing like just how much like prep time Usopp has. Like it feels like an Usopp as Batman sort of moment. The fact that it is just this multi-stage attack. It's like Tailwind. He's like going over like the fucking measurements of the window with Viola.
Yep,
The different phases, the
so good.
second booster. It's so
yep.
involved.
I love
Um,
it.
yeah. I love the fact that he's also like I just like also like the way that it works out for him is like one, it's just so community oriented because it's just about like I can't imagine forgetting about Luffy.
Yeah,
Oh, because like Usopp's always been like about like even when he leaves the crew is about the crew. But in this case, it's just like a genuinely altruistic act. And I also love the fact that it's something that Luffy is never going to know about, or that Luffy doesn't have to know about.
Yep.
Because for
yeah.
someone who's so braggadocious and who has just gone through this whole "fuck, I'm being worshipped as a hero," and I didn't ask for this moment. It's just literally like I'm just gonna do something totally under the fucking radar, which is such
Absolutely.
a sick change of pace for Usopp. And I think even him being like, "No, Viola, focus. Like I need you with me right now." Like actually, like okay, Usopp is like having like a he's being a leader right now.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
sick. Yep. And then just
yeah. He's
like
giving commands and everything, and
yeah, calm,
Yeah.
cool, collected.
So
Let's
good.
fucking go. Yep. I agree that the final blow of it, knocking out Sugar, is fucking hilarious. And it's
So
also
good.
like it's kind of reminiscent of the Perona fight where it's still like, oh yeah, like the scaredy cat is beating someone with fear.
Yep.
Fear of their own.
That's a
Yeah,
nice
I think
connection.
Mhm.
it's such a well done moment for Usopp. I'm such a huge fan of this chapter.
Same.
Yeah, and I love that this is also built up previously when we see Sugar does have the lingering trauma from Usopp. Like again, seeing like the guy with the nose and like the sausage. Like that's something that Oda set up just recently with the previous chapter. So it makes
Yep.
sense that this will be effective. So it's funny to see that pay off in this way. And this is so rewarding to now see this again come back up. It's like the gift that keeps on giving.
Mhm.
100%. Such a great chapter.
And then Viola, that was unbelievable, Usopp. How'd you manage that? You're incredible. Words nobody's ever thought before.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's my only question. Where was he carrying that slingshot?
What if the slingshot's a pop green?
Oh,
Maybe. Maybe it is. That would explain it because it is like larger than he is, like significantly larger than he is.
Yeah.
Maybe he had it stored in one of his plants.
That would explain how it's like sort of self-supported. Because it
hmm.
I don't know if it quite looks like it's coming off the ground, but it's like definitely like at an angle that it shouldn't be able to be.
Hmm.
Well, it does look kind of like it's coming out of the ground. I don't know. Maybe it is.
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking it
I
was
was
like dug
joking
in,
when I
but
said it, but now I
yeah.
believe it.
We end on this note here where Luffy and Law make it to Doflamingo. Thanks to Usopp, who was able to stop Sugar and let them, get by unscathed. But it's now time to take on the big bad.
And he doesn't seem flustered.
Not at all. Just disappointed.
Just disappointed.
I am a little concerned when I look at the floor in that panel. I look at what's at Dofi's feet.
Oh, I didn't even see
Oh
that.
shit! I did not see that either. Oh no!
Looks like Bellamy got knocked out, or
Looks
possibly
like it,
worse.
or worse.
Wow. Yeah,
Yikes!
because
I
like
didn't catch that either.
I'm not sure if like digitally if it's clear, but it's like with the physical volume with like the centerfold, like
Yeah.
it's kind of like stuck in the middle, so it's like easy to like not see that.
Oh,
Yep.
sneaky Oda.
Yeah, so it's good that you point that out because like you're on the digital app. I would have completely missed that.
Same. I also would have completely missed that.
If I had the box set, I would have missed it too.
Oh no!
Well, we're gonna have to leave it on that note because that's where this half the volume is gonna end.
Wow. Made it to the palace. It's boss battle time. And I would say easily the most daunting villain we've ever had.
Yeah,
Like I don't even think it's. I don't think there's a close second.
yeah. I mean,
Not at
he
all.
kind of seems unstoppable.
Yeah.
Um, Like, he hasn't even been like well, first of all, every time we think like, "Oh, we cut his head off," or whatever, it's like, "Oh, it's just a string marionette." So,
Right.
it's like he's got that, like, up his sleeve, but, like, just every time he has showed up, like, nobody's really given him much of a challenge. So, he's kinda been uncontested.
Including Luffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
This is gonna
Luffy hasn't
be
really been able to take him on, like, face to face,
fair. It was
but
very brief.
yeah. But
But
now
he's got
the
Law.
intention is to have the real fight, yeah.
Wild. Can't wait.
Alright. So,
I'm
final
pretty hyped
thoughts
for this one.
on yeah. Final thoughts on, like, this the set of chapters here?
This was a really fun half volume.
Mhm.
It was funny that Frankie was the comic relief and Usopp was the hero, like the real hero. But like really exciting developments for Usopp. Like you said, that was such a huge, huge chapter for him and very promising, very exciting. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm really excited for what's to come. We're in the
I'm
final
a big
chamber.
Cody.
I'm enjoying it a lot too. I think there are some really good character moments in this one. Even with there being so much going on, I'm missing like half of the crew that sailed away a few volumes ago. But I think it really does work for the best that we do get like the focus on Usopp, on Frankie, for Robin a little bit. I think it would have been like I'm not sure it would have been manageable with that many people
Yeah.
on this island at once. And I think Oda's doing a really good job of managing like just how much this is. it's something that I was thinking of, like, as we like started the podcast, is that like we're 59 chapters into this arc right now.
Yep.
Yep.
We
That's a
started at
lot.
chapter
This started at
700.
chapter 700, and I was like, shit, where does this compare with like other arcs in the series? And I did pull it up. At this point, the only like singular arcs, like one location pretty much, that are longer than Dressrosa so far are Alabasta at 63 chapters and Skype at 66.
Wow.
Wow.
This arc's a fucking monster.
Awesome.
And so, and like it's easy to forget sometimes because it is just flowing and it's going so well. Like it's only
Yeah.
when I'm like, wait, did that happen? Holy shit, I forget. Only when I get to the point of like I'm forgetting something do I realize like just how long this one's been going.
Yeah.
Because it is just like it's just a nonstop thrill ride. It's incredible.
Yeah, I think one of the great things too is even though it's been going on for so long, I feel like there's admittedly, I think maybe was it maybe last episode, I feel like there was like the only point where it kind of felt like there was like a lull to the arc, whereas like other than like maybe like those few chapters, I feel like the pacing has been pretty quick. It doesn't feel like things are dragging. Like there's a lot of like forward momentum. There's a lot of interesting things going on. So it never feels like the arc is dragging its feet. It feels like it's always doing something interesting and keeping things going and paying things off. And there's just a lot of exciting moments. So it's just great to see an arc so far this long where I feel like it's been able to just kind of keep things interesting and shifting gears so it doesn't feel like it's starting to lose steam. It always feels like there's something else going on.
Yeah. It's amazing how he can juggle all of these plot points.
It really is.
Like Sabo and Fujitora, like another huge confrontation that's happening right now that we only just got like what 2 pages of, and like it was just them battling. Like we didn't really get any sort of read on how that, like who's winning that battle or what's going on there. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited about Sabo. Like Sabo is like a fun, really exciting new character. I'm like super excited to see how he fits into everything.
Yeah.
I think that's like another thing I really like about like the way Dressrosa is being structured so far is that like in all these like quick cuts, it's I think like you said, Joel, the pace is very quick, but it's also like just substantial enough to like give me a little bit and then leave me wanting more.
Yep.
Yeah.
But like I don't miss it at all. I'm like, oh, this came back at the perfect time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it's all piecing together superbly.
Yeah, so I'm very curious how our thoughts are going to develop as we continue this arc and how things play out here. Very curious about this one.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see. But for now, that will conclude this week's episode of the We Are Reading One Piece podcast. You can find this episode wherever podcasts are found at We Read One Piece podcast.buzzsprout.com or on YouTube channel at We Reading One Piece. This is a spoiler-free channel up to where we record the podcast, so if you're new to the series, you can visit the channel there. You can also find me and this podcast on my YouTube channel at Pirate King Codex for more One Piece content. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, you can reach us at wereadingonepiece@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from listeners, so if you're enjoying the show, or if you have any suggestions on how we can make it better, let us know. Next episode, we'll be finishing Volume 76, Just Keep Going. I've been Joel, and I've been joined by Evan.
Thanks for listening.
And Cody.
Please let Bellamy be okay. Please let Bellamy be okay. I'm not worried about you. I'm not worried about Bellamy. You're worried about Bellamy.
Please, 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 please.
Please, 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 please.
Yeah, we'll have to cross our fingers and make our barriers for Bellamy. All right, but be sure to bring on our hopes and dreams, and we'll see you on the next episode.